Greetings, everyone. Your boy Marvin Ford here with Great American Survival, and in today's video, we're going to be sharing with you a nice on-the-water review of my Ascend 12T. Now, I've had this thing for about 6 months, so I'm not only going to show you how I rig up my boat, I'm going to tell you what I like about it after having it for 6 months and what I don't like about it. There's certain things I've had to add, there's certain things I've had to change, but guys, this thing's been great, and for the price tag that Bass Pro and Cabela's offers it at, it's a great starting point for those that want to get into kayak fishing and just want a great platform to start with. So stick with us. I'll tell you all about it. This video is intended for all ages. All right, so when we first get started with this boat, we're going to come up front and I'm going to talk about the boat itself. Now, the boat itself, the way I've got it rigged up, I use a Stolquist, which is they made it for Ascend. They sell them at Bass Pro. This is a really comfortable, really nice life jacket. If you're gonna buy a kayak, buy a life jacket that's comfortable. If your jacket's not comfortable, you're not gonna wear it, and then it's not gonna do you any good if it's not on your body. That's the bottom line. It can't save your life if it's not on you. It's here for a reason. It will save your life if you let it, but you gotta have it on. The wind's gusting a little bit. Bear with me here. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. The next thing, one of the things I've installed is a stand assist strap. Now, the stand assist strap comes in very handy, especially if you want to stand up and fish. All it is a piece of paracord tied to this was a Med RX 180, a banded workout thing we had years ago. I found the two handles, used one of them for this one, used one of them for another boat. Works really, really well. Next, I added a GoPro mount. I added a Scotty mount up here, Scotty Track. That allows me to mount another GoPro up here if I wanted to. I like doing this more than this because these get knocked out. The ones that are just snapping the tracks also get messed up. So I like the track, this one like this. This one you're just gonna know, this is the old Ram style. Adjust it up, move it forward, move it back, whatever you want to do. There's lots of different extensions, lots of lengths you can get. Works great. This is my battery box for my fish finder, and it works really, really well. This one right here, I might do a video on it in the future. Just snaps in there, makes it where when I'm running the boat, it's out of the way. It's up front, so it's not in any of my casting areas. Next, around the side, we have, on one of the upper tracks, I run my fish finder. My fish finder's right here. Transducer goes down, wire goes in that runs to the two of them. They both run up here. One runs to the fish finder, one runs to the transducer. The power source runs back there and runs to the battery, which is inside this little box. Honestly, I use a NOCO battery jump box is what I use. I am going to be switching over to a Bass Pro lithium. I already had one and someone stole it. So I'm going to do the lithium 18 amp hour and run it in here. It'll fit. That's one of the reasons why I'm going that route. I have another Scotty mount back here. I carry a Stearns throw pad as a seat cushion because one, it's also it's a flotation device. It's something you can use in an emergency to save someone else. That's one of the main reasons. It's also a butt cushion. After a day on the water, your butt's gonna be sore no matter what you're doing, but honestly, the seat in this is really well done. The dry storage is probably one of the biggest negatives I have. That one right there, I broke the cap. I haven't replaced it. Honestly, I'm not even worried about it. The dry storage back here is a real open-ended area, allowing you to run electronics and wiring through it, which comes in really handy. I just use a dry storage bag like this, a dry bag. I keep my electronics in here. I also keep my throw rope and a couple other things, packs of zip ties, some tape, little small rolls of Gorilla tape wrapped around an old Sharpie. Just makes it where in case of an emergency you have it. Back here at the seat, like I said, another gear track. I've only used it once on this one, but I use the Anchor Wizard, and I'm going to run it on the side. I do have to add another gear track back there in the back for the chute is what it's called. The seat itself is really comfortable, but it doesn't have anything to attach it. So I run this little, it's just a little stretch cord designed for, it's a tether. So I have one hook on each side through the little rod holders. Just keeps the seat where if I flip my boat, I'm not gonna worry about it, even though I know it's in this track. The way these are, this one's got a track and it's really comfortable and it really stays in really, really well. It's really not easy just to pull out. You have to work on it. So that makes sure it's, if I flip, I can focus on other things and not worry about where my seat's going. In the rear, one of the biggest complaints I have is the way they ran this. I haven't done anything about it yet because I have more than one kayak. If it was my only kayak, I would unscrew this, take this out and reroute it, run a J-hook over here on the side to make it where I can tie my stuff down. Right now, all you can do is stretch it up, stuff your jacket. You cannot put anything of any size because you only have so much stretch. Big problem. So unhook this, run a J-hook over here, and that way if you need to, you can let the slack from one side go, and then you use all this to pull up and over a bigger item like this or a cooler or whatever you wanted to do. That's a big deal. It makes it a lot easier for you. Next, we come up here. This is the way I'm gonna run. I run mine. This is my catch board. This is the metal version, the 26-incher. And I keep one of these SoCal fish keepers on it. Works really, really well. This is tethered back here to this. This is the tether for the catch board. It allows me to take it all the way up there and take photos when I'm fishing. And it also allows me to keep the fish kit on it also. The black pack back here is awesome. If I'm running it, I will stretch one of these cords back here up and over these 3 rod holders and it keeps it from going anywhere. The back here, I keep my fishing net, and then I have my GoPro way up here. That's my GoPro pole. That's just transporting it to and from the, getting it on and on the boat. Once it's in, it goes in one of these and gives you that rear view of my fishing. The boat itself is really well done. I've been nothing but impressed with it. It works great. Now, if you're looking at getting into kayak fishing, this boat is at the right price range. It is great for what it is. You can stand and fish, as I'll show you here in a moment. I'm going to show you a video, and that is both me standing and paddling the boat and me standing and fishing out of the boat, because that's one of the biggest questions I have from people. People are always asking me, hey, can I fish out of this boat? Hey, can I stand and do this? Honestly, the biggest thing is practice your stability. Get yourself like a balance board and get working on your stability. If you're worried about your weight, that's something whether or not you have to deal with. It's a personal thing. But I'm just under 200 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall. I stand and fish out of this quite easily. Most people don't have issues with boats like this, like the 10T and the 12T, and most of it's not the boat's fault. People just aren't comfortable with standing and fishing. If you go out and you've tried it on a paddleboard and you struggled, then it's not going to be any different on this. This right here has a little more heft to it than a paddleboard, and you just want to be able to really focus on what you're doing. Now I'm going to show you the video I was talking about, and then we'll get back and we'll talk to you some more. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about a boat like this is you get it out. Today it's a little windy, but the water's fine, as you see here. The way the bow is and the way it sits so low, waves will splash over. So you don't want to put your scupper plugs in, because your plugs will keep the water from getting out of your boat. So with a stand, I installed a stand assist strap like I showed you, and it allows me to just pop up. And as I'm doing it here, I'm just going to paddle standing up like a gondolier would. And it just allows you to really sight fish when you're looking at bedded fish, or if you're going to fly fish. It just allows you to do a lot of different things. But it's very stable, much more stable than the 10T. And then once you get where you're situated, where you want to do what you want to do, you position your paddle, get it comfortable, and then cast where you want to cast. I mean, I'm bombing these out there. I mean, these are really out. These casts are far. I mean, really easy to situate. Standing, I can still just one arm, grab my paddle, turn the boat, get it right where I want it, and then just cast for those precise casts that I want, and get right up on those banks, get in those little nooks and crannies where the big bass hide. Especially like right now, it's first part of spring. The big bass like to hide and spawn and cast their beds and just get back up in there. Now I can sit there and, like I said, I just sit this rod and reel down, paddle, not even worry about it, and then still cast right where I want it. A lot of times I get a lot of messages from people asking about when they're standing and fishing. So when you stand and fish, you will get water like this at your feet. It does happen. Now the best part about it is when you do, the moment you start to paddle, that water's going to drain right out. Now that just happens. That's not just this kayak. Almost my high-end native kayaks, my Jacksons, they all take water on. They all take water on through those scuppers. It just happens. But when it's just the moment you start paddling, that water all drains out. Stuff in the rear drains to the rear. That's why each one of these little sections, the scupper plugs, are in the rear part. They're meant for you to paddle it out. You know, once you're moving, all that water is going to go away. And as you see here, once you get out the 12 foot as opposed to the 10 foot, it tracks really nice. Doesn't take much, and you're really just cruising along. I mean, this thing will just scoot. And as you see here, I stopped paddling, and it's still just floating along, tracking nice and straight. It works really well. Now, as opposed to the 10 foot, the 12 foot, the only negative I had with this boat was the plastic. For me, running it up, as you see, like this boat ramp over here, just from that little bit of contact, I ground away layers of plastic on the front. So if you're gonna buy one, go over and get yourself some of this, some type of a keel guard, and put it across the front of this just to protect your boat. These things are not meant to be drug on concrete, so take care of them. They'll take care of you. So as you see, the 12T is an awesome little boat. I recommend it for anybody that's got a budget and they're trying to find a boat that's in this price range. A lot of the boats that are in this price range don't have as big of a casting deck to stand on, and that's an issue, especially when you're talking about being able to stand and fish. That's what we were talking about. Now, if you're just talking about everything else about this boat is long. It's 12 feet long, and it tracks really well, but it does not turn around very well. Like if you're on moving water, like here in Georgia, if I'm fishing the Chattahoochee, this boat is not meant for that. This boat does not turn around very well. It's long and slow. It does track really, really well when you're going straight. It'll go, you can get it going pretty fast, little click, and it does what it's supposed to. The boat itself is nice. I like it. I think it's a good investment, and I hope if any of you are out there looking for one of these, go ahead. The 12T, all the boats I've bought from Ascend, I've easily been able to get my money back from them, and I can't say that about every boat I've owned. I've had Jacksons, I've had Natives, I've had Hobies, I've had a lot of kayaks, and I have not always been able to get my money back. But I am also talking about my price tags on my Ascends has never been over $700. So I can get my money back, even though I've had some investment issues. I put some more stuff into them. But this right here, with the way the market is right now, let alone everything going on with COVID, this boat right here is a good investment. I think if you're looking at getting started in kayak fishing, I think you could definitely go with a worse selection. The boats that they have, if you can find them, are a good choice. They're available at Bass Pro and at Cabela's. And guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it the old thumbs up. And guys, we couldn't do this without you. We hope you guys enjoy videos like this. This one right here took a little while to make just because of what it is. I have to have the boat for a while to try it out. And these are all boats. I've bought these boats. None of these boats were given to me. I paid for every one of them. Some of them I've traded other boats for, along the line. But they're fun. They're fun. Kayaking is a lot of fun. It's a great way to explore and get out there and just see things. It's a great way to enjoy nature. And that's the best part. Taking your kids out, watching them just get so excited when they see stuff. And they, like my son today was having fun, and he decided he was going to paddle over and scare the snot out of some geese. And then a big group of Canadian geese flew over him, and just he was scared and laughing at the same time. It was awesome. And those kind of moments you can't take back. These things are awesome. They are some of the best experiences you'll have with your friends and your family. Hands down. So make sure that you take time this week to get out there, enjoy yourself, enjoy nature, be prepared, and stay safe. God bless, guys. We'll see you soon.